Start today in Puerto Rico, where for several decades there has been a significant drop in agricultural production. At the same time, young farmers have decided to take the step of starting to work the land on the island. Well, a new documentary is now projecting the reality and sacrifices that farmers have to face every day. Our Francis Felix brings us more on the film.
Puerto Rican farmers are constantly fighting to rescue available agricultural land in order to boost the production for local consumption. However, there are multiple challenges and disadvantages along the way. A new documentary film shows the efforts of the new generation of farmers in the island. Stewards of the Land, Serán las Dueñas de la Tierra is a new documentary film that presents the life of 3 Puerto Rican farmers and their efforts to live from the agricultural work.
It follows the lives of 3 agroecological farmers, their struggles, their triumphs, in a moment where Puerto Rico is importing more than 85% of the food. The 3 of them studied agronomy. They are agronomists who graduated from the University of Puerto Rico in Mayagüez. Some of them, like Stephanie Rodriguez Ocasio, she's a teacher in a public elementary school and a program of agriculture. And Ian Pagan has built a school also to teach anybody who wants to start producing healthy food. Alfredo Aponte, who has a doctorate in agriculture, who studied in the United States and decided to come back to Puerto Rico to start a farm, is also a teacher teaching farming and works in the experimental agricultural station of the University of Puerto Rico.
And we basically wanted to show who was farming ecologically, what they could do, like everything that could be grown in Puerto Rico, where the products were. And so in a sense, it was everything that's good about what's happening in the movement. But we also were close to the movement, right? And we knew all the struggles. And we decided that we had to also show that.
How long it takes?
It all started in 2014. We won the competition, what is now the Puerto Rico Film Commission, then was financing documentaries, and we won a competition, and we started the pre-production process in 2015. We started filming in 2016. This is a very we did it at home, literally.
This new cinema proposal was filmed between the towns of Toalta, Orocovis, and Ciales, and it's 92 minutes long.
There is a lot of people who want to come back. There's a lot of people who are here who want to produce food for the country. We want people to start talking about the role of farming in Puerto Rico, the support that we should be giving to anybody, young or old, who wants to produce food in the island.
The director reflected in the message they want to give with this film.
Right now it's in 11 theaters of Caribbean cinemas around the island, from Mayagüez to Ponce, Fajardo, and San Juan also, Arecibo. And it's going to be in the film theaters as long as people want it to be in the film theaters. It's important people to come out.
People see themselves there, and they see the hope, and they also see the struggles, and at the end, they're heartened, by what's happening.
Stewards of the Land promise to give a light of hope to our society and also to farmers to keep working on our land. This film will be available in 11 movie theaters of Caribbean cinemas around the island. Reporting from Plaza Las Américas, Puerto Rico, Francis Felix.
All right, thanks so much, Francis. In the meantime, soaring inflation is crushing the Caribbean region, and residents of the Turks and Caicos are about to get a bit of a break, all thanks to a $16 million inflation stimulus package. Our One Caribbean News' Deandra Hamilton explains.
As the world continues to battle with an increase in inflation resulting from the Russian-Ukraine war, the Turks and Caicos Islands government has announced that islanders will soon benefit from a $16 million inflation stimulus package. It is hoped it will offset the whopping 9.1% inflation rate, which has driven up the cost of food by 38%, and electricity bills are up 23%. The announcement was made by Premier of the TCI, Washington Mizik, last Thursday during a national update press conference.
The government has made some decisions to try to alleviate the current inflationary pressure. And so the cabinet agreed today to offer Turks and Caicos Islanders what we call a price inflation stimulus.
Premier Mizik explained that the package has three parts. The first part will be a $1,000 direct assistance payout to Turks and Caicos Islanders and British Overseas Territory citizens.
One, direct assistance of $1,000 to Turks and Caicos Islanders and British Overseas Territory citizen residents, estimated at $12 million.
The second part will be to assist with high food prices in the country.
Government has agreed to provide a waiver of customs duties and customs processing fees on certain staple and bread basket items imported to the islands from August 1 to November 30th, 2022, while we keep our eyes on price inflation.
And the third is a construction works program to provide more jobs, more income.
A further $2 million injection is being made in the works program to assist with providing additional jobs in the economy.
This is the second stimulus offered by the government since the start of the year. DeAndre Hamilton reporting.
All right, thanks so much, DeAndre. Meantime, the weekend brought wicked weather to several parts of the world, including giant waves in Hawaii and horrific wildfires and sweltering heat in Europe. All examples of what scientists say are the effects of climate change. Jen Sullivan has the terrifying scenes playing out across the globe.
Terrifying moments for a wedding party on Hawaii's Big Island over the weekend as partygoers watched a giant wave approach the shore, crashing onto the beach and tearing down tables. These giant swells, meteorologists say, are remnants of former tropical cyclone Darby. And it's just the latest example of wild weather patterns sweeping across the globe. More than 40 million people are under heat advisories or excessive heat warnings in the U.S.
Records are breaking and shattering everywhere.
Parts of the U.K. bracing for temperatures around 104 this week. At one London airport, flights were halted after parts of the runway melted. As temperatures reach life-threatening levels, dozens of patients are rushed to hospitals.
That's when you see the sort of tremendous loss of life, is when that heat simply persists.
The excessive heat triggering wildfires across Europe. Firefighters battling blazes in Spain and Portugal, where more than 1,000 people have died. Blazes raging in the UK and France as well. Many countries declaring a national emergency.
We already have 3 times more forest burn than in 2020, and we have both a spring that has been very dry and fires that have spread with force.
Scientists are blaming the weather extremes on climate change. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.